Hi everyone and welcome back. In this video, we're going to look at one of the most spectacular failures in crafting toy history. This is the Smooshins squishy maker that came out in 2018. I know it's not super old, but it definitely predates the current wave of viral squishy making kits such as Rainbow Jellies and Elmer squishies. What fascinates me most about Smooshins is that the concept is genuinely brilliant, the design is adorable, and it was way ahead of its time. It had all the prerequisites of being a viral smash product, but once you actually try using it, you'll realize how things can go wrong on so many levels. Be sure to watch until the end for a fairly unexpected plot twist that happened 2 months after I finished filming this video. It could have saved a lot of customers from a lot of stress, but unfortunately, this product is already completely off the shelves. I got this one from an Italian seller on Amazon, which is one of the last places where it's still in stock. The packaging looks very beaten up and held together by tons of tape. I can't complain though, as this is probably a dead stock product, but I'd be very disappointed if I bought this as a gift. The most recognizable part of Smooshins are these little pods of squishy gel, which of course remind me a lot of Rainbow Jellies. I love the attention to detail here because these are supposed to look like egg yolks and the squishy mold is hidden inside an egg. Just to clarify, the kit I have is called Smooshins Mama, which comes with this big plastic shell. The majority of Smooshins tutorials that I watched online only have an egg-shaped mold. However, the packets of squishy gel, the curing time, and doll designs are all the same throughout the series. The first surprise I got is that this requires batteries. There's nothing on the packaging that suggests this is an electronic toy, and to be honest, I have no idea what it's supposed to do. I noticed that I can push down the ribbon like a button, but that's about it. The next step is to smash open the gel pod, which is pretty satisfying. You mix both of these inside the capsule, and I'm pretty certain it's some kind of 2-part silicone. I'm really interested in the decision-making behind these sorts of toys because there's always a balance between the crafting process and child safety. Elmer Squishies allows you to squeeze and mix the silicone directly into a cup, whereas Rainbow Jellies and Smooshins keeps the polymer sealed inside. Another interesting detail is that the opening contains a spring mechanism, which means the gel can't come out on its own. I really admire the effort that went into keeping kids safe from any sort of contact with the liquid, but as you'll see later on, all of this is pretty pointless because of inherent flaws in the instructions. So far though, everything is going well. I've mixed the squishy pod thoroughly and inserted it into the Smooshins Mama. You get this little stick which functions as a squeezing device and later on as a screwdriver. This part of course is very similar to Elmer Squishies. As you can see here, I ended up pressing the ribbon button by accident as I still have no idea what it's supposed to do. After translating the instructions, I realized that the button starts a timer process for 4 hours. This is supposedly how long it takes for the gel to cure. When the light starts flashing, everything is effectively locked. You can no longer take the pod out, open up the mold, or cancel the process until 4 hours are up. Now this is where things start to go wrong. I admire the logic behind Smooshins Mama, which is to create a device that truly prevents kids from touching the liquid silicone. But in practical terms, especially if you're a parent yourself, you know that 4 hours is such a long time for a child to wait. Just for comparison, Elmer Squishies and Rainbow Jellies give you the results within 45 to 60 minutes. The other major fail is that Smooshins doesn't actually cure in 4 hours. In almost all of the videos and reviews I saw, most people recommended leaving it at least overnight. So this is exactly what I did. Here's the next day and I'm ready to open up the Smooshins Mama. However, just when I started filming, I made a fatal mistake, which is to press the ribbon button again. I thought that because the process was already complete, it might help to release the pod or it just does nothing. What I didn't expect is that it locks the entire device for another 4 hours. You can see me struggling here to release the mold, but it's absolutely impossible. I even considered breaking it, but this is made from a very hard type of plastic without any screws, which means there's a genuine risk of injury if you try to force it open. Looking closely, I noticed that there are plastic tabs which prevent the pod from coming out. When I pressed the ribbon, I heard a mechanical noise, which was presumably these tabs sliding into place. There's nothing in the instructions that warns you not to press the button again, and there's no display screen or message lights on the toy itself. Now I'm forced to wait another day before I can see the squishy. In the meantime, I might as well make the second mold that's inside the egg. I have plenty of refill packs, so I'm just going to smash and mix up another one. The next problem is that the tube is designed so that nothing can come out unless it's fitted into a special opening. After a bit of fiddling around, I realized that you need to press into the spring in order to squeeze out the silicone. I'm keeping it pressed with a sharp object and then pouring it inside carefully. I'm still baffled by the sheer amount of effort that went into preventing anyone from touching the silicone. It must have been expensive to produce all these pods with a spring device opening, especially if you compare it to Elmer's secret solution, which are literally just ketchup packets. However, all of these safety measures are useless anyway, and you'll see why very soon. So here we are one day later, and I'm extremely careful not to go anywhere near the ribbon button. This time, the empty packet slides out without any problems. Once you open up the Smooshins mama, you can see this egg and inside is the mold. You even get a screwdriver tool to loosen the tabs, although this works with just your fingers as well. The front of the mold looks pretty good, but unfortunately the back is almost completely empty and sticky. Bear in mind this is already cured for 48 hours, which is much longer than the recommended 4 hours. However, I'm still going to try to complete the doll. You get these little faces and accessories, which I really like. I think these give the characters that extra charm and emotional appeal, which is lacking from Elmer squishies. I'm definitely wearing gloves for the demolding parts because this looks extremely sticky. I'm well aware that this specific sample might have degraded over time, so I did some research online to see what other people's experiences were like. Based on all the reviews and tutorial videos, the biggest problem everyone seemed to have with Smooshins is that the polymer gel does not cure and there's simply not enough to fill the mold. These are some pictures from Amazon reviews and it looks a lot like mine. As you can see here, the bottom part looks almost okay, but the top part is sticky and bubbly. The absolute irony of this product is that after all the measures they went into to prevent people from touching uncured silicone, the final result just doesn't work. Nobody should be having any kind of skin contact with this material while it's still wet, and especially not children. However, if you followed all the instructions correctly and assumed it would be ready after 4 hours, then it would be impossible to prevent your kids from trying to play with this. My second Smooshins egg was a complete disaster. As you can see, it's still fully liquid and there's no chance I can proceed with the accessories. I'm actually going to close this up and just leave it alone and see if it does cure at any point. You can check the results at the very end of this video. I think what frustrates me most about Smooshins is that there's so much emphasis in the instructions telling you how to mix the pods and making sure you squeeze it all inside. It indirectly puts the responsibility of the success of this product onto you. However, it's been proven by countless reviews and videos that there simply isn't enough polymer to fill the mold and the curing process might fail no matter how well you mix it. So as a customer, you kind of feel tricked by the product, implying it's your own fault you failed when there are so many inherent flaws in the design itself. So in summary, I feel these are the top 4 points why this kit flopped. The first and most obvious one is that it simply doesn't work. If the packaging shows an army of adorably squishy Kokeshi dolls and the final result looks like this, then nobody is going to be happy. The most basic expectation of a DIY kit is that you need to get what's shown on the box. I think this is why rainbow jellies ended up being a huge viral success. I feel they definitely borrowed a lot of ideas from Smooshins, but the execution was a lot better. The chemistry in rainbow jelly works every single time. No matter what you do, you will always end up with a jelly-textured squishy, and that is enough to win people over. The second reason is that the mold is simply too big. This definitely contributes to the problem that you don't have enough material to fill it with. Elmer squishies and rainbow jellies work better because they supply very small molds which are basically the same size as mochi squishies. A very interesting bit of deep diving is that Smooshins is made by MGA, which is the same company behind LOL Dolls, Rainbow High, and Miniverse. I can almost see how the product evolved because the mold is the same size as a mini LOL doll. Back then, it probably felt like the smallest dimension for a DIY toy. MGA eventually created their own viral success with Miniverse. I think we're all in agreement that Miniverse is amazing and the whole trick was to shrink down. They also let go of the overcomplicated safety features and went with the strategy of supplying smaller quantities of craft materials which are less likely to cause harm even if misused. Miniverse bottles contain UV resin, which is technically not skin safe, but a tiny amount is less likely to pose a risk. The next factor spoiling Smooshins is the overly complex spring mechanism. This is obviously designed for safety, but as we just saw, it doesn't serve any function if the final squishy doesn't cure anyway. All it does is make it more difficult to get the liquid out and increases the chance of injury from someone trying to force it open. I think it's also designed to make sure that these refills can only be used with specific products from the same range, and thus making the company more money. They don't want people buying only the squishy gel to use with their old molds. The next factor is the curing time. This is simply way too long for a kid's toy. I've worked with all kinds of squishy resin in the past, and curing times can range from a few minutes to many weeks. The Shore 00 silicone that I used in a recent video cures within 1 hour, which I think is the best time frame for a craft kit. Sophie and Toffee squishy gel cures within 24 hours, which is also reasonable if you don't raise expectations in the first place. I find it inexplicable why they wrote 4 hours in the instructions when the material clearly needs longer than that. This can only lead to disappointment, and so many people had this problem in the negative reviews. So as promised, here's the pink Smooshins egg after 2 whole months. This is a rare video where I only began editing a long time after filming. But I'm glad there was a delay because I discovered that the polymer has cured completely. It still doesn't fill up the mold, but the texture feels perfect. This proves that Smooshins does eventually work, but you really need to have patience. A lot of frustrated customers could have solved their problem by simply leaving the molds for longer. However, this detail isn't communicated anywhere in the instructions, so most people probably just threw theirs away. It's almost like they set the product up for failure by telling people it's supposed to work between 4 and 24 hours. In my own experience, many squishy polymers can take much longer to cure than what's written on the instructions. But I do feel that 2 months is an unreasonable amount of time to make someone wait, so it's still not the best product design out there. I really hope you enjoy this review and analysis of the Smooshins Squishy Maker. Be sure to subscribe if you like this type of deep dive into viral crafting products. As mentioned earlier, this kit fizzled from the market fairly quickly, but MGA did end up with an absolute viral success in Miniverse. There's actually a squishy berry jelly in the newest series too. You get a tiny mold plus a soft resin to fill inside. I really hope they go down the squishy route again and create more miniature pieces that you can make yourself. I'm Joanna, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye!